$20 from MangaMan777. Let's go, y'all. All right, without any further ado, it is now time for Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal with Zem. Take it away.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? So I last ran this game at AGDQ2019. I did the New Game Plus category. Now I'm doing any %. This is, if you remember anything about NG Plus, you know it's really fast. Any % starts out a little slower, but then ends up becoming insanely difficult. It's by far one of the hardest Ratchet categories. So I'll let the couch introduce themselves before we get cracking here.
All right, this is Bongo. I'm Ruh.
Ricky.
I'm JHobz. It's way too early for this.
And that is...
Oh, yeah, sorry. This is Kill a Wombat. Sorry about that.
All right, so I guess without any further ado, we shall begin. Timing, I'll let you know. I'll count down from 4 when the planet becomes visible. We always time this on first input, so I'm going to start the actual loading sequence, and then I'll count it down from 4. So we got to go through 2 load screens. Can we make it 3 load screens? All right, here we go. So it's going to be 4, 3, 2, 1, time.
Wham.
Let's go. So this starts out without, the movement is very bare bones at the very beginning. Not a whole lot going on here. I'm just going to be doing lots of different side flips, things like that. I'll be doing some out of bounds. Most of it, though, is going to be geared towards leveling up the shock blaster. I don't use it just yet, but this gun right here, the shotgun, we need to get it to V5 by a certain point in the run.
Yeah,
so,
these side flips he's doing are not just like regular side flips. He's actually doing them after thrusting forwards because you actually maintain a lot of your speed and even gain speed.
Yeah. Actually, first off, I do want to just extend some gratitude to the GDQ staff. I was actually a backup runner at first. I don't know if you guys know how this works, but they always plan out a week's worth of runs, and then they also have some extra people on backup in case people drop or whatever. And I got bumped up to a full-time slot. Actually, Mike Uyama came down from the heavens, and he said...
Gave me the big hug.
Yeah, he gave you the biggest hug. He said, Uyama wants Uya. And then he proceeded to backflip out of the room and play a Domino's pizza game for 16 straight hours.
I can confirm that I was there. That was right.
So I'm just really grateful to be here. I mean, it's always a pleasure being able to do these runs for you guys. So yeah, we're coming up to the end of Velden. I'm now using the shock blaster to try to just kill as much as possible. We're going to get it to V2 by the end of the next level. And yeah, I have nothing interesting to talk about. So.
The other weapon he's got is the nitro cannon, which launches these bombs, as you can see, that actually deal a lot more damage than the shock cannon right now, but aren't as necessary to upgrade as the shock cannon is. So that's why he actually kind of intentionally loses a tiny bit of time here and there by killing stuff with the shock cannon in order to level it up for later.
You might also hear that the load screen music, or like the sound effect on the load screen for the ship, is a bit desynced. That's because he's on PS3, and PS3 is just overall a bit faster for any %.
Yeah,
so to say.
We used to do runs of this on PS2, but then when we legalized solid-state drives for PlayStation 3s, me and another runner by the name of Andy, we sat down in a call for like 6 straight hours timing every load. And by the end of it, we just kind of wanted to die, but we knew that PS3 was faster.
He skipped about half of this level, by the way, right at the beginning.
I forgot to explain stuff. This is all like so mundane to me at this point that people will just be like, oh my God, what'd you do? I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I just played the game, I guess.
You just forget to explain stuff because you've done it so many times.
Yeah, so we skipped the entirety of Florana by just cutting through that gate. It's kind of an interesting design feature that they have throughout this game, where they will place the end of the level at the very beginning of the level because it just kind of makes it a lot smoother of a transition. Like, you know, you don't have to take any backtracking or teleporters or things like that. I got good RNG here, so this is a fast boss fight, and that's that planet. So
Zem also pulled out his wrench at the end there because there's actually a level up animation that plays when you level weapons up, and pulling out the wrench, or actually just switching weapons in general, will get rid of it.
Oh, I should also mention, so because this category is so brutal, I'm going to be donating $25 every time I... Actually, yeah, let's do 25. I'll do $25 every time I die. So if anybody wants to match me on that, anybody playing at home, that's the incentive to look out for. I'm probably going to die a lot. So
25.
get the wallets out. But yeah, actually, so now that I've debated all of you, the first death is coming up right here. It's intentional. Intentional deaths count, by the way.
Ooh. Oh, they do?
At least for me. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't want to. I don't care. It's not. It's your life.
Do you want to be broke or not?
Here's the great thing. He meant to say 20.
I did mean to say 20. I fat fingered 25.
But you know it's in there now.
So that's the first death. That's a soft lock prevention put in by the game. So because there's a lot of finicky stuff and they couldn't make everything solid, they made a soft lock prevention where if you're free falling for 5 seconds or more, the game auto kills you because it just thinks that you're stuck. So we kind of abuse that to death abuse back to the ship. And so Marcadia's coming up, which means we have a lot of time to read donations.
Oh, goody. We have $25 from Lincoln Ito, says, Sup, Zem? Glad to see the rack pack up and kicking again for Up Your Arsenal. I'm part of the French commentary team this time, so hi from Le French Restream, King Furry.
Yo, shout outs to all the people who do the different language restreams. They definitely don't get enough love, but they do a lot of really great work.
Mm-hmm. Especially Link, he's done it for like 5 years at
yeah,
this
oh my
point.
God. So what I'm saying is, audience, can I please get a round of applause?
Yeah. Le baguette.
I feel like Jeb Bush. Please clap. So yeah, we got a lot of missions here. And if you want to just read off a couple more donations, I'll get into the nitty-gritty of this planet afterwards.
Sure, I can do that. We have $10 from Earth Bounty, and good luck, Zem. Much love to you as always, dude.
Thank you.
$25 from Korak, who just says, more TaskBot.
Great.
And $20 from Flay, who says, hi, everyone. Love watching Zem run this series and see him crushing the world record preparing for this. I'm currently taking a break from work just to see him run it. Zem, don't you dare disappoint me.
I probably will, but you know what? That's fine. We all make mistakes.
You know, we could have sabotaged TaskBot down in that private practice room.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, the TaskBot's just kind of chilling in one of the rooms there. It's just doing its own thing, though, so don't get any ideas, people.
And now you just told everyone.
Oh, I accidentally got the... That's what the upgrade animation looks like.
That's what you're not supposed to see at all.
So disappointing already. That's what I do, you know. I just kind of... I aim in all facets of my life to lower the bar as much as possible so I can walk right over it.
Lower your standards.
Yeah. So how you guys doing? It's like 7 a.m. We're all just chilling.
Pretty
here.
tired.
Little tired.
Oh, death number 2?
$50.
You're gonna be broke. What are you doing?
Dude, we're chilling.
You got like 3 more coming up.
Yeah, I got like 5 more after that, so.
How are you gonna get home?
I'll just hitchhike back. Illinois is not too far.
He actually had to die there too, because on PS3 you actually on PS2 you used to just actually load the game to get back to the mission menu and everything, or you used to end challenge rather. And for PS3 it actually doesn't let you open menus while it's saving, while it's doing autosaves and stuff, but it does still let you die and it does still make the save, so it works just as well.
So what you're saying is if you played on PS2, he could be saving money right now.
Basically, but not time.
Yeah, dude, what matters more, the cash or the frames? It's definitely the cash. Absolutely the cash.
You're gonna hitchhike? What are you gonna do? Put up a sign saying, I did the Ratchet AGDQ run, drive me home?
Assuming people who drive cars watch GDQ.
The Ubers will know.
What does that mean?
Revenge of the Ubers, they're coming back.
Here we go.
If you guys didn't know, 3 out of the 4 people on mic were also mic'd up for the Jack 3 run, which has been dubbed Bonesaw 2.0.
No.
Yikes.
No.
So that was a pretty great run if you want to watch it. I would highly recommend it. We had a pretty good time doing that. Or, you know, you can just watch this for now. Oh, Death Abuse number 3. So there you go.
$75.
75. So this is a pretty deceptively difficult mission right here. On PS2, this is super easy because there's a really active hitbox on all these dropships. On PS3, the active hitbox is very, very small. And so I have to lead my shots in a very particular fashion to blow up all these dropships pretty quickly. Thankfully, I can avoid the saucers. In NG+, we have to kill the saucers because they'll just gat you until you die. But this is pretty simple here. And let's see here. Got 2 more coming up. And thankfully, I can't death abuse on this one, so I can't connive myself out of more cash.
Well, you could, but you'd lose some time.
Yeah. And money.
So yeah, I guess we can read like 1 or 2 more donations if you want. We can kind of front load the donations here because there's a lot to talk about later on.
Yeah, sure. I'd like nothing better. It's $25 from Wiffle. The RAC community are some of the best friends I've ever had, and it's thanks to catching 1 run at AGDQ 3 years ago that I'm a part of it. For that and everything else, cheers, GDQ.
Yo, shout outs to Captain Wiffle. He is the #2 NG+ Ouya runner in the world. He just broke sub 30 barrier, which is an incredible achievement. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, Wiffle's... My man's got a high reset counter, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's big.
This is a very reset-heavy game. You'll see, like, top runners have usually anywhere from, like, 5,000 to 12,000 resets on their counter.
Yeah.
It's just very cruel and unforgiving.
More or less NG+.
Yeah.
Just because that one is, yeah, it's very based on movement.
Sorry to crunch you. Sorry to cut you off, Crunchy. If you want to keep going.
No worries. Yeah, I'll keep going a bit. $10 from Earfolds117. Hey, Zem, Earfolds here. It's good to see you at GDQ again. Hope you've been having a wonderful week, all for such a good cause. Best of luck with your run. I and the rest of the Rack Pack will be with you every step of the way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Earfolds. I will talk about one thing, and then I'll let you read like 1 or 2 more. At the end of this mission, there is a little bit of RNG, but it's not really that punishing even if I don't get it, especially because I'm really good on EXP right now. But there's going to be 3 different points at which saucers will spawn. I want them to spawn right here down the middle so that they'll drop their one eyes really fast, and I can farm EXP off of that.
Nice.
So that's one right there. You'll see he drops all 4 instantly. I blow him up, and I kill the one eyes. And so I'm just going to be doing that over and over. And if they don't spawn down the middle, I'll just blow them up quickly.
The main reason is that those small enemies that they spawn are actually some of the best experience in these missions, which is really dumb.
It's so stupid. They give the most EXP out of any enemy here, I think, except for maybe saucers.
Yeah. So he's already got his shot cannon up to level 4, and 5 is max, so.
Okay, so I have to kind of, if you hear me muttering numbers to myself like a crazy person, it's because I have to keep a counter going for when I can death abuse. Oh, that's death abuse 4, by the way. So, yeah, we just have to make sure that we're doing this as fast as possible. And it's really embarrassing when you don't time it correctly, and then you have to just lose the run on a 2-minute auto-scroller. By the way, that's the only time you'll ever hear me call that an auto-scroller. The community knows what's up. That's an inside joke. They love calling this entire planet one long auto-scroller because it really makes me mad.
Yeah. I don't know. I get mad over it, too.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Man, how is it an auto-scroller if you lost 15 seconds to me? I don't know. Right. I don't know how that works. You tell me.
At the end of this, he's going to do another death abuse at the end of this mission, by the way, but this one's actually a lot more important than the previous ones. It's going to set up a glitch called Ghost Ratchet, and basically a lot of kind of funky stuff is going to happen. Yeah,
so there's a few different ways you can activate Ghost Ratchet. I'll be doing it once or twice more in the run. Death abuse number 5 coming up here, by the way, for those keeping track at home. Okay, I got it. So what the game does there, so when you fall in the mud, there's about like 2 or 3 seconds you can stay in the mud before you actually die, and I can just walk through walls now. So let me lead by saying I can walk through walls now. So the reason that happens is because the game assumes that Ratchet's dead, otherwise you wouldn't be in the mud. But because there's a cutscene that pulls Ratchet out of the mud, the game still thinks he's dead as I load this next segment. And floors are still solid, but walls are not.
Yeah, it's a super convenient glitch.
It's also for something that I'm not sure. I don't think the devs intended on it. I think they kind of had it as like a backdoor dev failsafe because there is a 10,000 frame counter. Like you wouldn't get something so specific if it weren't at least somewhat intentional. So that's about 3.5 minutes. So I had 3.5 minutes to get through that. If I die, I lose 3 minutes because I have to do the whole thing normally. But
and so we actually skipped a gadget there completely, the refractor, which you just don't use at all in this run because that's pretty much the place that we needed to use it.
Yeah.
So you canceled sinking into the mud. Did you actually die? Are you actually giving another 25 here?
Hey, the game thinks I'm dead, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Now that he's loaded and he's gone to another planet, by the way, it's off. It's gone.
So
Yeah, it doesn't carry over.
This is something interesting that you don't really get to see a lot of runners do because they do NG Plus so often. You don't get to see these vid comics. You just get to leave them in NG Plus, but at any percent you have to do them.
Oh, I love this part.
Yeah, this part's so cool. There's a nice little RNG elevator coming up right here. Hopefully I don't get bodied.
These are actually some of like the hardest parts to optimize in the entire any percent run. It's this 2D side-scrolling has like some movement tech to it where you'll see him punch a lot.
Yeah, there's like
and then jump
legitimate
out of
tech.
it.
Yeah, that's why I do claw grip.
It's actually really tough in all because you have to do 5 of these.
Yeah, so there's actually kind of a small like underground unit of people, by which I mean one runner named Tarnawina who's been just grinding a lot of vid comics. And there's a lot of really crazy IL strats that I will not be doing any of.
I really like the vid comics.
Yeah. our Polish boy.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Lots of really specific movement throughout this whole thing. And a lot of it's cycle-based, too. So sometimes I'll have to wait out certain cycles for different things.
Yeah, this is the big one. So there's like a little platform that comes across there. He just skips over that by jumping into the spikes. It's really easy.
There are a lot of vid comics where like managing your health is really important too because the gun does pretty good damage, but in other vid comics sometimes punching is actually better.
Hit that button, Zem.
He is going to go for 1 cycle here.
Just spazzing out a little bit on the controller.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the boss. 1 cycled him. Easy peasy.
Look difficult.
Yeah. Just really hard hitting this button over and over.
Hey! This is Cork.
Gotta love it. I gotta say, I'm both surprised and ashamed of the chat for not shouting orb every time you see the planet in the load screen. So I'll give you guys one chance. Actually, I don't even know if this is gonna be a good one to do. I don't think it's circular. But there's a lot of circular planets. If you guys wanted to shout your orb meme, I know how much you all love memeing.
Oh, and you don't.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never memed once in my life.
Talk about 2 days ago.
So here's where the planets are. Orb. A little teeny orb right over there.
I'm not going to pronounce that German.
Zerstöre deine Welt.
Oh yeah, it's in German by the way because it's actually faster.
I got you. Dude, I know my German.
What was it you said? We can't decide on a language?
Yeah, the language for this game has changed like 9 times, I swear.
People have asked me if I've learned any German through playing this game, and the answer is, of course not. No. Why would I pay attention to any of the text? Aside from Du hast, I know that one. That's that Rammstein song.
This is Annihilation Nation, by the way. Basically, Annihilation Nation has a few rooms in it that can all be built in kind of different ways, and there are a couple missions that you have to do. Most notably, like you're going to want to get the tier guys from this location eventually.
Eventually,
and, that'll be really useful.
I need to put shot cannon right. I always forget about that.
Oh yes, you want that tier, guys.
Yeah, the tier guys. So Ricky, Ra, and I were all joking during Ricky's run that like there's always all those runners who say, like we always get annoyed when people are like 20 minutes into a run, they're like, this is where the run begins.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this run is. It begins at the 20-minute mark.
Man, you're really going to do them like that?
I really am going to do them like that. Yeah, it's excruciatingly difficult, and it's just a lot of inputs over and over. So a legendary up your arsenal. By the way, if you hear me say Ouya, that's U-Y-A, up your arsenal, not that really crappy console that everybody like memes about.
Remember when he used to call it Rack 3 and Ricky, you and I convinced him to call it Ouya?
Yeah.
I don't know when I started calling it. I just thought it sounded cool, I guess.
It does sound cool. It's got its charms.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Something about video games.
How about talking about these arenas, about how when, well, you're not supposed to see that.
How about you lost 4 seconds?
Yeah. in these arenas, he knows on every round how many containers they're going to spawn with enemies and what enemies they're going to have, and which containers they spawn in is dependent on which way the camera is facing.
Yeah, you can manipulate all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be staring at these two, and they'll just be coming out there.
And now that he's got the shockwave to V5, he can actually hold it to charge it up, and then it will produce a ray, like a beam, that he can swing around to hit pretty much everything that he wants to hit, and also hit certain enemies like more than one time, which is really important.
Okay, so I know I said I hate memes, but I lied. So I know everybody's doing this bird box challenge nowadays. So I just want to kind of stunt a little bit. This is one of the hardest parts of the run, but I want to show you that with enough practice, it's not that bad, right? So what I'm going to do is I got my headband, H-Fam, by the way, haha.
Oh, no.
Don't do it. Don't do them like that. So I'm going to try this exactly one time blindfolded. I told the Ratchet community that I had a little surprise for them, so.
This is the single biggest skip in the game and the hardest.
So I hate quiet time as a concept, but I actually really do need it because there's a lot of audio cues. All right, here we go.
All right, now that we got that out of the way.
All right, and just like Bird Box, outrageously hyped and fell completely flat. So,
Oh, man.
So now we can actually talk about what you were doing.
yeah. So the reason that failed, there's like a million different ways this can fail. What happened there, I had an up input eaten. So what I'm doing, I'm using the tier guys. The intended use of the tier guys is to
Turn into Mike Wazowski.
turn into Mike Wazowski. And you kind of like have to go incognito with all the other enemies that look like this. Like you've seen the ankle biters. But yeah, so what this does in essence, it resets Ratchet's grounded state over and over. But there's a very specific series of buttons I have to press over and over. The basic concept of it is hitting square, triangle, square, and then double jumping. But what I do is square, square, triangle, triangle, square, square, X, X. Hold triangle, hit up, square, square, triangle, triangle, square, square, at XX. It's
Repeat.
It's a lot of inputs over and over, and if I mess up really any of them, I almost assuredly die.
And his direction is very important. You just heard the music change. That's because he's now near the VR area, the training segment.
Easy peasy.
And yeah.
Oh, and here's a sick animation cancel coming up here if I can get this. This was discovered by Azaki. And now I can move around while I'm collecting the titanium bolt.
That skip he just did skipped an entire planet. Actually, it skipped two planets.
Yeah,
But
that's actually really hard
That
to do.
is the biggest hurdle for anybody learning this game is IJing consistently, infinite jumping consistently.
And you have to do like, what, 20-something?
It's like, yeah, 25 or 30, I think, somewhere around there. So this is one of the sickest planets in the run. So this is a Quados. You get to see a lot of it in the any percent categories. So here I am. I'm going to show you guys a Quados. Orb.
Orb.
And we're done with the Quados.
Oh, sick, yeah.
Yeah. Flawlessly
That
executed.
was pretty epic.
Yeah. And so that's really dumb that we have to do that, but that's the only way to unlock the sniper rifle, which is a very crucial weapon in this run. But we don't need to do anything else on Aquados because we already sequence broke the game to Dax.
Right.
Orb.
Dax is a really cool level because this is where we get the charge boots, which become kind of your main method of movement for the entire rest of the game.
Yeah, so this is where the run gets fast.
Yeah.
Not begins.
He switched to the helipack from the thruster pack there because it's actually going to be used in a lot of speed tech, like right here. What? Nope, not
I messed
not
it up.
there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thanks for making me look bad. All right, he's going to buy some ammo here and then hopefully use... You know what?
It's
I'm just
the
not going
charge
to talk.
boost jitters, dude. It's the jitters.
You ready? Okay, you did it. You did it.
So we've got a lot of movement tech to cover.
Yeah.
This is a hyper swing hover. You can store momentum to glide across these gaps. So we're kind of backtracking through a part of the level you're not supposed to be able to hit.
Basically, there are a lot of ways that you can do weird things with the momentum in this game if you go neutral on the analog stick. And also just having momentum while going into an action like the hyper swing will allow you to potentially store it. And no, you're not saving that.
You actually can't IJ over that anyway, so I don't even know why I bothered.
Yeah.
There's certain surfaces you can't infinite jump over. That's what IJ stands for, by the way,
So-
infinite jump.
So you've never made that jump in a GDQ. You actually failed that.
I
3
failed
years
that?
ago. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
dude. All right, I'm
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least I'm consistent. Dude, 3 years, you think I would actually improve at this game?
These kinds of like really long jumps he's doing with the helipack after charging, those are called neutral long jumps. They're kind of the bread and butter when it comes to the base understanding of movement tech.
Out of bounds, by the way.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Some walls.
Whoa,
Uh,
what?
heck?
Whoa, what? I
I'm
did
not
not
saying
even.
it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. You guys know.
Yeah, I
Hey,
know.
Zem, has
I
that
know.
ever happened before?
Ob's
No,
why.
actually, that actually has happened to me before, just not very often.
Sure.
There's ledges everywhere, man. You want me to keep track of all of them?
There are a lot of walls in this game that they'd never expect you to get above them, so they just don't exist. And they're just visual, which is... There's the
Two
you
orbs.
used to clip. You used to clip a lot in this run, and now you instead just find ways to get out of bounds in other ways.
So,
Yeah.
This
go
is
for it.
a really sick 2-frame trick that will look incredibly easy if I do it properly. And if I fail, you'll all just laugh at me. So, well, that's not it. This is another really hard trick that I just fail all the time anyway.
Yeah, so this is basically the refractor that he skipped early on. You're supposed to like bring this barrier down by just like doing a big puzzle here, but you just clip right through that barrier. And he's going to come up to the 2-frame jump here. He's going to switch to the thruster pack, and right as he thrusts forward and then lands on the ground, he's got to input an R1 and X input in these 2 frames. So he's got to line it up right here.
This might work. Let's try it.
Oh,
damn.
almost.
I could have saved it. Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack and try it again. This is a marathon run, dude. I gotta show people why it's hard and then nail it. There is also a cheeky little backup I can do to save it. Should I mess it up again?
That would never happen.
Nah, I've never made a mistake in my life. This'll fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
So infinite jumps are not only useful for big skips, but they're really great for just like saving yourself in so many situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might actually, even though, like, obviously in a run, you would just kind of do what you have to do. I kind of like showing off stuff in a marathon setting. I think it's fun. And also, I like to epically own the Ratchet community because they care way too much about how good your run is during a marathon. So I'm calling you guys out. I know you're all listening.
Yeah, they do. They're like, oh, 55? That was bad.
Yeah, dude. You have no idea how many comments I've gotten from runners after my runs that were just like, dude, your run was bad. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, what do you want from me? It's a no reset.
I remember your 2016 run, people were like blaming you for like some early mistake, and you're like, your stick was actually just straight up bad.
Oh, yeah. My stick, for some weird reason, I'm not going to make John's. Never mind. We're moving on.
No Johns.
That was
No
3
Johns,
years
dude.
ago, man. Let it go.
I'm keeping him to it.
I'll never forget. It's like the war. It'll never leave the recesses of my mind.
God.
Which war, you ask? I don't know. Pick one.
The ward Blackwater City.
The war of Blackwater
This is
City.
Blackwater. Once again, spawns are all set, so he knows exactly what's going to spawn where. He's not worrying about experience on the shot cannon anymore. It's just really good at taking everything out very quickly.
Yeah, so this is a little trick. I didn't really explain it, I don't think. It's called shot cannon weaving. A lot of people know you can charge this up to do a really powerful attack, but what a lot of people don't know is that the active hitbox is so huge that you can generally like wave back and forth a couple times and get a few extra hits on either bosses or just general waves of enemies like right here.
Ammo in this mission is like super tight, by the way. Like you could see he's at 0 right now, and he had just been very low the entire time.
Death abuse number 6, by the way.
He
Or
has
rather,
to,
death
like,
number 6.
he has to make sure he doesn't like pick up ammo at the wrong time, because you can. It costs 10 ammo to use one of these big beams, but you can charge it if you have at least 1 ammo.
Yeah.
So if he picked up like 2 4 ammo packs, for example, then he'd effectively have lost an entire beam because he'd still be less than 10.
Also, the beam does look kind of weird, but that's because of the PS3 port. Yeah.
The PS3 is a pretty epic port. I need to stop saying epic. I hate when I do it.
Epic counter number 3.
Epic counter number 3.
$25 per epic.
Don't make him more broke.
Oh, yeah.
He's already at like 175.
Oh, crap. I knew I fat fingered that. I was like thinking about it too. I actually have to die there, so that's my bad.
Is that actually?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
So I need the sniper rifle here, and I just completely forgot about it. I did it for charity, I mean to say. Yeah, so I need the sniper rifle here. It's just really convenient to have early on. It's a really good backup weapon on bosses if you mess things up. It's also just really convenient. If I'm just doing boom and then boom, FaZe, please sponsor me.
Just doing boom.
By the way, that hyper shot that he got earlier from the VR training that he was using to do his hyper swing hovers and stuff, yeah, that's gone.
It's gone forever.
It's gone forever because the trick that he did to actually like go get the hyper shot, it gives it to you because you're in the VR training area and it like expects you to have it there, but it doesn't actually fully give it to you. It just puts it in your quick select wheel, which like you can see the quick select rotation in the top left of the screen.
There's like a.
Oh, sorry. No, you guys go.
No, I was just gonna say there's like a 3 weapon rotation thing.
So once it's out of there, which I believe it disappeared once you bought the sniper rifle.
That's just your job.
Yeah,
that's your job.
That's why we gave him the mic.
Back to Annihilation Nation for some reason.
Yeah, the game, plot-wise, what's going on here is that we need to meet up with Courtney Gears. It's a pretty obvious reference. I'm not going to spell it out for you.
I don't know if it's that obvious anymore.
It's really not,
If you think about the early 2000s, it's an obvious reference.
Maybe if Courtney Gears' name was like Sifu or something like that, people would recognize it.
Oh, no.
Or Courtney Ganinja.
Binja.
Oh, that's another death, by the way.
Oh,
what are we at? Like 9 or something? I don't even know.
It's a lot.
It's at least 3.
You're in the triple digits.
It's 3 plane tickets.
How are you getting home?
I'm flying Spirit, that's how.
You could have been flying first class.
Oh, jeez.
He's taking that spaceship home.
Or did it before you.
All right, so Holostar.
Yeah, so another really hard trick that looks super easy if I get it right. But there's a rail that I have to glide on for like, it's only a second, but the rail is like pixels wide on either end and completely hollow in the center. So if I go towards the center at all, I'll fall through and die. I nailed this. Oh, I just like stuck the landing on my GDQ16 run. So this will be a true 3-year regression if I mess this up right now.
Yeah, it's called Scrunchless because Scrunch the monkey was back there and you're just going to leave him alone. See if you can get it.
Cool.
Oh,
Did it.
barely.
Then he's going to jump around an invisible wall here. That also is a little harder than it looks, but not nearly as bad as Scrunchless.
And then, so this planet is just known for killing runs. You get through that, and then this is a very finicky boss fight. If everything, it's like a Kingdom Hearts speedrun. If everything goes perfectly, it's very easy. But as soon as you mess up one thing, it all goes haywire.
Oh yeah, this one in particular, like he's going to try to kind of lock.
It's already gotten messed up.
Yeah.
I have to ground him now.
Yeah.
I have to also avoid.
Yeah, he meant to stun lock him by the wall, but
Backup strats.
you're gonna have to do this now.
2015 strats put him in the corner.
That's fine. So what happened there, his the hitbox on this guy is really, really wonky, but you want to make sure he gets staggered. Like you see him going, ugh! Like that's
what?
That's his stagger animation. Wait, I'm sorry, what?
How does he go?
Ugh!
I got it.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we get the stagger animation. You want to make sure you get the stagger animation, but if he doesn't stagger on the second hit, the entire thing gets messed up. And that just happens a lot, so it's like whatever. So I'm going to buy the whip here. So you get through all that, and now the absolute most difficult planet in the run is coming up. I know runners always say, oh, this is the hardest part, but this time I actually mean it.
Have you talked to Courtney yet?
I did talk to Courtney, but you just didn't see her. You know.
Dang.
When he's starting this these infinite jumps here, by the way, he's starting with what we call a tira jump. it's kind of how infinite jumps work. You can actually do a tier jump from the ground just to get some extra height.
Courtney was going to stick around, but she took one whiff of the smash room. She was like, not for me. She talked to the chief, and that ain't it.
By the way, that titanium bolt, and I think maybe one or two others, but it's mostly that one, is why you can't do like a low percent run of this game.
Yeah, it's... oh, actually, yeah, you can't do low percent.
I mean, you can, but you can't do like no titanium.
Oh, yeah, you have to do like weird 2012 strats, dude. But...
Oh.
Someone,
I was like, what do you want?
Chat, keep a counter going, see who wins by the end of this. I mean, Ruz obviously in the lead, but...
I'm giving up.
Okay, good.
This trick is actually sick. He's gonna set up Ghost Ratchet again by...
Ooh.
He's gonna fail and donate another $25 to charity. And then he's gonna set up Ghost Ratchet by like starting to sink into the liquid here and then getting hit by an enemy. So he has to actually make sure that he's like in range of the enemy.
What the heck?
All right, another 25 to charity.
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, just fall.
But yeah, I just want to make it 75 real quick. Yeah, this is just such a brutally difficult level. This has ended so many any percent runs.
Okay, there we go. So now he fell through the death plane and he can just go through walls because he had Ghost Ratchet going.
We're storing momentum here with the tier guys. And then we're going to land on the, what's the word for that? Like
A
little
truss.
seam.
a truss. Yeah,
I think.
there's trusses all over the top of this
Yeah.
this rough right here. We got to land on the truss on the
I think
rough.
it's the truss. I don't know, man.
I've never heard of that word.
Okay, that's...
Me neither.
Ooh.
There you
It's
go.
not over. It's not over. This is a very difficult boss fight.
Yeah.
Hardest boss fight in the run, and there's no checkpoints. I didn't activate a single one. So if I die, I go back to the beginning, and I lose. Like
You die in one hit.
you die in one hit.
Yeah.
Die in one hit, and also ammo is like pretty important once again, so he has to be a little careful about that.
My ammo is not great right now.
Yeah, normally in a casual playthrough, you're meant to pick up like more health as you kill more enemies, and you also armor.
Yeah.
But
We actually got
kinda
armor in this run for a long time. Like,
Okay.
we get
good.
the level 1 armor because it was even just level 1 was good enough, but not anymore.
okay, there's some. Oof.
That was a bad hit.
He's trying to
Oh,
actually
this could work. This could work.
Yeah, he's trying to hit her 2 to 3 times.
Nice.
There you go.
Good
Nice
job.
Like you could see, he was at I think like 1 ammo left.
Yeah, that's we've had to do a lot of theory crafting on that boss fight to make it as easy as possible, but it really just depends on execution. Like I missed, we called it shock cannon weaving. We have like double weaves and triple weaves, and if you miss some triple weaves, it just gets really, really bad. And triple weaves on Courtney are very precise.
I think that boss fight is why I stopped running Rapid 3 forever.
That's not an orb. That's a station. Silly.
Station.
Hype. Or whatever that was you said.
So there is a really optimal like task strat to do, but it's so hard to set up RTA that I'm just doing the casual route here, but I'm just gonna do it fast.
The casual route.
The casual route. We have a meme.
really fast, you say?
We have a meme about getting 50 or above on this timer, so let's get a 50.
Yeah, this
Yo,
is
we got a Clank fighty coming
This
up
is looking like a 50.7. Oh, come
Oh,
on.
you were close.
50.68. Not bad, dude. Yeah, I would have gotten a lot more heat from the community. I'm sure they're already roasting me, but it's all good.
You know, I'm really upset about that Jack 1 thing you were saying earlier. You were hiding that record for me.
What?
You know how Luigi got the run? And you were hiding it for me? Yeah, you're not the only one that can hide stuff.
Oh God.
No, don't worry about
He's
it.
going off the script. I have no idea what's happening.
Is them? Oh, you can't even see this. Do you think it's okay if I show him this little bad boy?
Whoa.
Yeah. We'll show him that after.
All right.
Hold on.
It's you'll see it after this vid comic.
What are you guys doing? Do I have an idea of what this is?
Not in the slightest.
Okay.
All right, so now that everybody at home is alienated.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, viewers at home, I hope you guys just like sitting there being confused.
I hope you're like, oh wow, I wonder what this is.
Dude, I can't wait.
I'm sitting in a couch confused.
Yeah. I'm running and I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, audience, for your general confusion.
You'll see it soon if Zem is just fast.
What is everyone gonna see?
We're gonna get real close to the camera, like uncomfortably close. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I didn't get like a yes or no from people on whether or not FFZ integration was in the chat. But if it actually is in the chat, can I please get a lot of pogies? I really like pogie.
Can we get some Zemi mans?
Zemi mans, yeah, dude. All the Zem subs. Can I please get some Zemi mans in the chat?
Zemi M, Zemi N.
And you don't like memes?
What?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm a slave to the system.
Which side is he on now?
Yeah. Zem92, friend or foe?
He's on
All right, show me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
When did that happen?
So
Why don't you tell everybody what it is?
So do you want to say it?
Okay, so does this username is he's a really prolific Ratchet runner. He's like a low-key beast. He always just kind of does his own thing, and then like 2 days after running a camera,
This is a collaborative effort, actually.
Oh, is this actually?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Okay. Well, I also don't know anything about this, so I don't feel bad about this.
What
Apparently,
is it?
the Ratchet 1 community got together and made a segmented run that's like a minute and a half faster than world record.
Jeez.
So I'm gonna watch the frick out of that, as they say, after this run. So it's gonna be pretty epic. God, I did it again.
$25.
Dude, you guys, do you see what you do to me?
Yeah, I just baited you to make you say epic. That whole build-up was just to make you spit another epic.
Video's fake. It's just it was all
It was a big ruse. I thought you were gonna say that like someone kept like an unlisted like 29, the actual 28 in Ouya NG Plus.
No, it's just the wrong word. In the category you're running right now. Actually not.
All right, so
Don't worry.
BitComics is another one he's
let's
got to
get
do
back
after
on
this.
track.
Once again, he's punching, jumping, and then punching again whenever he's wanting to span large distances. But it's actually really rough timing. You have to do it as fast as possible to the point where like it kind of wrecks your thumb after a while from just like sliding between them. Unless you're like Zem, you're doing claw grip.
Yeah, claw grip is OD. It's just really nice. I don't know. There's like one other IL runner named Slaughter who does it.
OD.
Yeah.
That's
Don't worry about it. It's a melee thing. By the way, yeah. So on this next vid comic, we don't really have a whole lot to talk about. We've kind of explained the bear. Sorry. We don't really have a whole lot to talk about, and it's like a 2.5 minute comic. So Crunchy, if you want to read a couple donations out there.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. We have $50 from Davlaman. Greetings from Canada, longtime watcher, multiple-time donator. Having discovered Zem from watching my first AGDQ, I had to donate during his run. By the way, Zem, how much to turn this run into 100%?
Oh my God.
Need a few more hours.
Yeah. I'll just need to go like 4 hours over estimate. I hope GDQ doesn't mind.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
Ooh.
Easy money. Oh wait, hold on, wait. I have to explain one
Oh,
thing.
you got to
Oh
cheat.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, up, down, left, right.
Oh, you didn't.
Run invalidated. Let's go.
Wait, you haven't seen that?
No.
He's wearing a tutu. They actually say it in the game. There's like the stereotypical nerd dude. He's like, now let me just input this code real quick.
I'm not okay that I've seen this. Or just the dancing.
Do you know there was like a little bit of like
He's doing the splits, dude. No, dude, he's just playing Ultimate Online. He's getting his
He's getting a stretch on.
You should just read donations whenever. Did you almost just die right there?
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, go ahead, Crunchy.
All right. We have $20 from General Tough. Hey, Zem, glad to finally have made it to GDQ and coincidentally enough to see a run. Best of luck. I know you'll need all of it on Iridia. Zemi M, Zemi A, Zemi N.
Thank you so much for that, James.
Small thing is he stood outside of the actual like fight room for that fight, like while he was hitting the little mini boss, just to make it take fewer shots. But you can go ahead, Crunchy.
All right. $350 from Anonymous, longtime donor, first-time watcher. Always nice to see some Ratchet and Clank.
Ooh. So Zem's trying to do a skip here, and there you go.
There you
If
go.
you press like square on a very specific frame, you essentially you can wall jump off the same wall twice, basically.
Now he's gonna just dump his entire clip into the boss here and then start punching him. Grab another one, but I think you're mostly just gonna end this with punches, right?
Yep. Punch him.
Dude, this song
Right in the knee.
hard.
This is why like actually managing your health can be kind of important because look at how low he is, but
Yeah.
there we go.
Do you know that costume actually caused controversy almost in the community? Like a little,
yeah.
like
Oh,
a,
yeah.
like a
Yeah,
little
oh my
bit.
God.
Like legitimately for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it was my
like-
fault too.
It's like, is this a cheat?
Well, I always put that on. And I tried to always
Yeah.
pick it up with the wall, but you failed at it. That way you just go
Oh,
into
wait,
one
I have
side
a
of the wall
charge, I
green, you
forgot.
come out the other side pink.
So this planet is awesome. It's so cool when done well. So you probably are not going to see it done well here today. But yeah, it's there's normally what you have to do to go back. There's a taxi. This is one of the few levels where the end isn't at the beginning. And so you take a taxi to go back to the beginning. But the taxi is really, really slow, and save loading is even longer on PS3. So we're going to do a sick backtrack strat. Try saying that 5 times fast.
What are we saying 5 times fast?
Backtrack strat.
Backtrack.
Crap!
Hey,
Oh,
kind of
and
Damn,
25.
dude. All right, fine. It's whatever.
Another 25.
Crap, dude. Oh, my speed run.
Oh, shoot.
What if I don't get world record?
You're not gonna get world record.
No, dude. My world record's actually sick. Yeah, we were memeing like when. So there's not a lot of runners for this category because it's so brutally difficult. So when this got accepted to the marathon on like December 20-something, like after somebody dropped, there was a bunch of memes about 52 season. And like at the time, world record was 55. And so like everyone was memeing about like 3 minutes of time save, and then I actually got a 52. So
Yeah, your own's pretty sick.
sick, dude. It's actually relatively beatable, but nobody's gonna bother for a very long. Actually, I'm gonna.
So it's sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that lined up like perfectly. Finishing off the boss there with the flux rifle,
I
leveled it up.
Should have bought ammo. I'll fix that.
And this is the backtrack that Zen was alluding to that is really, really difficult.
Don't blink.
Gets up onto the roof there by manipulating some gravity, and now he's gonna try to charge off of
The tree. Nice.
and,
Yes.
and he's good.
Good stuff.
I blink.
Just watch the VOD.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge run
Yeah.
killer in pretty much every category now.
Like just have so many things that had very precise spots that you have to land and charge off of, and you don't have like time to stand there and set up the charge. You have to do it as soon as you land on the surface for most.
And keep in mind, because of how much sequence breaking I've done and how fast I've gone through the game, I only have 31 health. To put that in perspective, usually in a casual playthrough, you'll have like 60 or 70 plus armor. And so everything kills me in one hit now. Everything.
Yeah, everything just
So
obliterates you.
I had to go really quickly through that because there was a guy, like one of the green dudes that has a gun. He would have shot me if I stood still for even. I'm trying to talk here. He would have killed me if I stood still for even a moment.
Crash site is cool. There's nothing like too particularly interesting about it. I mean, the only thing that there is to talk about it, he just messed up. So.
Yeah.
Again?
But for the most part, it's just using whip jumps, which I guess we didn't really talk about. But they're just a way of letting you kind of get a lot of distance by long jumping out of midair after doing a charge and swinging the whip.
Yeah, the whip is kind of like a secondary wrench in a way, where if you hold L1, you'll basically trick the game into like thinking that you're on the ground. You can swing in midair, just long jump out of it. Super easy.
Yeah, I like hitting inputs a lot. So if you see me just rotating weapons, sometimes it's for a purpose, and sometimes I just like mashing buttons. I think I picked that up from like way back in the day when Trihex ran.
I knew you were gonna say that.
yeah.
I actually knew it.
When
yeah.
Trihex ran Yoshi's Island, he would always like do all these crazy inputs between levels, and then he would talk about how his hands would hurt. And so like sometimes I'll do it too much, and I'll be like, "How are my fingies?"
My piggies.
Would you say unnecessary inputs too?
Oh, absolutely. Like that's the strat. You know, you got to swag out somehow, right?
By dipping in spikes.
So this is my absolute favorite vid comic.
It's the worst, man.
No, every single other runner hates this vid comic except for me.
Yeah, it's pretty low tier.
I'm not even a runner anymore, but I still hate it. Yeah. Like, I just had flashbacks, man.
Yeah, it's pretty low tier.
I still have the opinion that everybody who says it's low tier is just bad at it.
It's all the cycles just like line up perfectly to hate you. Like that's how they all are. Like see how much damage he's taken.
Monka S
Now,
to Hyper S in 1 second. Hypers, dude.
I'm done.
You're done trying.
I'm done trying.
Yeah.
Said that like 5 times now.
But I'm done. I'm done. I'm kind of going pretty slow here, you know. All the IL runners are just yelling at me, except for Clank Speeds.
He thinks pretty good.
Clank Speeds is like, yeah, dude, he's just chilling. Literally chilling. I mean, this is the ice level.
He's probably jumping for joy that he got a shout out.
There you go.
Nice IL.
Yeah.
What's the record?
116.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just rough because
Hey. Yeah, I finished.
There's just a lot of really hard strats and a lot of it's cycle based too. So I'm fine with the 126. That's I can sleep at night.
I love how Cork has 3 fingers.
Yeah.
It's always so great. How does he do that thing when he has 3 fingers?
I mean, you only need 2. So when Holmes like, oh my god, he does only need 2. So this is just a lot of backtracking, or rather, you know, I feel responsible for this, so I just feel ashamed. So
There are a lot of invisible walls that he just went around.
oh crap!
25.
I swear to God, I'm
In the
not
bank.
trying to die here. Dude, this is actually such a meme too because. Like dying on this planet is the Zem. Like everyone memes about like if you die on this planet, you pull the Zem, and
Because
like
it's an easy planet.
it's a very easy planet, and I don't mess it up anymore. I swear.
Yeah. I think we have video proof that says otherwise.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'll make up for it. Don't worry.
Basically, just ran to the end of the level and then ran back to the ship.
Yeah.
That's all that happened. Very fancy movement. That's all very hard to pull off, but
So there's another.
That sounds like the next planet.
Yeah. There's another 2-frame trick here. So it's like basically frame perfect.
Excuse me.
it's twice as lenient.
It's all right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was it.
cool.
That was the trick.
Momentum is weird. Don't worry about it.
All right, so I think I'll pick up ammo. I'm a little low. Actually, yeah, I'll make it work. We don't need ammo. Ammo's for losers, of which I am one, so I'll be picking ammo up.
What I tell the other Jack.
Is that why you run Jack 1? Or is that why you run gunless? I love that one quote that Josh did. You Jack 2 runners just hover over all your problems. For those who don't know, in Jack 2, there's a hoverboard that you use to just go over everything. So
I think he's explained more about Jack 2 than he has in his own game at this point. All right, so this is Koros. There's actually a really cool trick here called SI, or Slope Intercept, where there's basically 2 parts where like 2 different walls kind of meet around here. So he's going around one, and then as he's coming back in bounds, he kind of slides on the wall just barely, and during that little slide, he has a moment where he can do another high jump, and you just do that over and over and over again. And that's how he got to the top of that entire tower.
I almost started a sentence by saying basically, and then I remembered, for some reason, whenever like all the runners at GDQs, they start their sentence by saying, so basically, I always want them to complete it with, so basically I'm Monkey.
Oh my God.
Well, I've discovered that I can.
I hope you have DK emotes in chat or something.
Oh, dude, if FFZ is enabled from like my chat as well, DK Bongo's in the chat.
I've discovered that I can shake my head disapprovingly at you in the reflection of the CRT.
I can see you.
Yeah, I know.
You're so upset with me. All right, so I need to buy the Agents of Doom here. We only use them for one trick. Theoretically, you can use them in a lot of different spots in this run, but it's so ridiculously precise that I'm too scared, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. It's just very, very precise timing. And it's really, oh, I didn't have to die there.
25.
Nice. And he's
Yeah.
using the
Oh, you're gonna be bro.
he's using the flex rifle to level it up to V5 so that he can use it on the final boss, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's the entire reason he needed the flex rifle to begin with.
Are you actually sticking through with this 25 thing?
Oh yeah, dude. You think
You
I
got
care?
it.
I'm a millennial. I don't care about my money. Just give me my avocado and my toast and I'm good.
Funny.
All right, so this is the trick that we needed Agents of Doom for. And I failed it. That's typical.
Try this again. This is to skip having to use the tier guys in a casual way. Although really there are like 9 other ways that you can get through here, but
He fucked you. No.
Oh, come on,
I saw
dude.
that. He was chilling on the ledge.
That's... Don't say it, Zem. Don't say it. Don't let him know.
hey Zam.
No. And we got it.
okay.
All right, we're in there.
Now it's just more climbing on top of surfaces that for some reason are solid.
Yeah, this...
So that he can go through other surfaces that aren't solid. And now do a whip jump into some more infinite jumps.
These are very precise. You can't IJ over most of the surfaces here.
Yeah.
So even though it looks like I should be able to IJ everywhere, I have to pick my spots very carefully.
There's like a really big reactor that if you're anywhere near that reactor, you cannot use the tier guys.
Okay, so this is the final boss. This was a huge any % roadblock for quite a long time. But there's a very weird exploit. I know a lot of you guys who have played this game probably had a lot of trouble beating this boss. There's an exploit with the sniper rifle where if you're standing a very particular distance away from him, or most bosses as a matter of fact, it like damages him multiple times. It just ignores his iframes or invulnerability frames if you don't know what that is.
My theory was always that the shot like goes through him and just hits like the front of him and the back of him or something. It's really weird.
Yeah,
But it's not just like further distance away is good or you know closer distance is good. It's actually like a very particular distance.
So you can see the weapons I've been using have barely even scratched the surface of his health bar. But look at how low his health is going to be after I do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at how low he is now.
Yeah.
He's actually counting up the death counter.
And so again, if any of these enemies hit me, I die instantly. Except for when I get back here, because I think their damage scales off of distance. So like it scales the opposite direction the further away it is. I think. I'm not actually sure, to be honest with you. 1, 2, and he should die here. So that's nefarious. And because this is a marathon run, I want to swag out a little bit. So you're supposed to, the easiest way to beat this boss is by just doing this. And literally all you have to do is just go around in a big circle. He'll never hit you if you stay this close to him. But that's kind of boring. And I think a run like this deserves a much more exciting finish. So I'm going to take a lot of damage here. And we're going to drop the hammer on this guy. So we're going to get him kind of low. It takes a little bit to get him there just because the boss has so much health. In New Game Plus, you get to avoid doing this altogether with the sniper rifle, but we need V8 for that, and you can't get that until challenge mode. So we're going to get him. We're almost there. I'm going to inch his health bar all the way to the very, very bottom.
Who's ready for another $25 for charity?
This is actually very easy to die on. It is. I'll try this a couple times. All right, so he's at 1 hit now.
Maybe.
You can cancel the launch animation out of the ship with the tier guys. And so now we're going to play Toho for a second here.
Okay.
Check it out. They're all coming back around for me.
Get him.
Get ready on top,
Get
by
him.
the way.
And that's not it. Sometimes it takes a couple extra hits. Oh, God. And time.
Hey, the style. Good finish.
I'll take that. Given all the slot, 56 is really solid. That would have been like a minute off world record a month ago. So that's fine. So I think I have to do the incentive. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hold on. Let me get some shout outs quick before I do the incentive. Oh, I just wanted to point out, so when I was practicing the bird box stuff, you know how your phone just like hears the stuff you say and then gives you targeted ads? I had a targeted ad called the Beard Box Challenge. It was a shaving kit and a guy blindfolded. So, really, I don't know what they're doing there.
You sure it wasn't the camera working? Just saw your face. you need to shave.
Yeah, I really do need to shave. Let me see. And I just want to give a shout out to the Ratchet community, everybody who's supported me throughout all the years. I want to give a huge shout out in particular to just all the great work that Games Done Quick does. I feel especially appreciative because I was a backup runner. I don't know, like I'm not over exaggerating when I say that GDQ has changed my life. Going from a dude 3 years ago who had like 700 followers on Twitch, and now I'm partnered. I just like lived a year off of full-time streaming and all this other stuff, and that's literally in part because of like the GDQ boost and the things like that. So like I just have so much appreciation for all the work that all the people do here, all the amazing charity efforts that go into this. So I just kind of want to give a shout out to all the GDQ staff. Can I get a round of applause for them?
Shout out to GDQ.
I know the internet and Reddit likes to, like Twitter and Reddit like dunk on GDQ from time to time, but like they're doing amazing work here, so it really cannot be undersold, the stuff that they're doing here. So thank you all very much. So I guess I'm gonna do the singing now. I'm not sure where that's gonna be. I've got the mic over here. So
You're gonna want to hear this. If you haven't heard it before, you're in for a treat.
I just want to I said I wouldn't do any Johns, but I need to make some excuses here. I just want to point out first off that it's 7:30 in the morning, or 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm sorry. So no good singing has ever happened at 8 a.m. But I'm going to try my best here. So this is, I'll explain a little about this. I've done some singing incentives in the past, and they've normally been foreign language opera arias, or what they actually called, but it's basically just another word for song. I've done foreign language stuff, but I chose this one in particular because I kind of wanted to show you guys that there's a lot of really cool modern opera out there as well. This is called A Warm Night. It's from an opera called Dead Man Walking. It was written literally this millennium. So it was written in 2000. I know a lot of people don't even know much opera is being written after like 1800s. It's kind of jazzy and kind of sexy. It's a guy who is in jail. He's on death row. What? Oh, sorry, I just heard people whispering. He's on death row, and somebody's like interviewing him, and the interviewer says, "What's the thing you miss the most about the outside world?" And he just goes, "I miss the ladies." I actually did try to get piano to accompany me. Logistically, it didn't work out, unfortunately. But if I ever do these kinds of things in the future, I'll try to get this established ahead of time. I know some people kind of want that. So just to let you guys know, this is A Warm Night. So here we go. A warm night, a cold bottle of beer down by the river with your woman. A little Zydeco drifting down from the roadhouse. You lay your head on her breasts, and she tells you everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. And for a little while you believe her, and it is. Everything is gonna be. Everything is gonna
be all right.
Thank you.
What else can really be said but amazing? Let's hear it again for Zem. All right, friends, so coming up next we have Metroid Fusion with C. Scotty W. You definitely do not want to miss that one. This is something downright incredible. But before then, we've just got time to have a few more of your donations here. We have $250 from Leonid. Always loved AGDQ, always watched it on YouTube. It's such a good thing to finally be able to see it live. Shout out for more donations for Dark Souls 3 Yhorm without Storm Ruler. As far as the Dark Souls 3 No Storm Ruler Yhorm incentive, that's at 21,319 of 50,000. Dark Souls 3 is still a bit of a ways off, but that's a bit under 30,000. So you want to see that one met, you get going on that. We have, $25 from Pembroke W. Corgi, who says, shout outs to KrunchyLex. Well, hello, Pemmy, how you doing? Thank you so much. We have $25 from Dave and Claire. We've been watching all week and loving the dedication of all the runners. Pretty much everyone in the world will be affected by cancer one way or another at some point, including us, so you're helping the whole world by doing this. So thank you. We have $500 from Snap79, who says, my mother battled breast cancer this year and is winning. However, my best friend's mom lost her battle unexpectedly. Hope this event continues to crush this disease. Love you, Stephen, Nick, Walter, and Danielle. Stay strong. $100 from Jingo Django, who just says heart. $25 from Anonymous. Thank you for this fabulous event. Unfortunately, it also means that I have to work twice as much next week to catch up. Well, well. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, Anonymous. $15 from Steino182. Greetings from Denmark. Awesome event. Watching every year with my husband. Let's beat cancer. $5 from Silver Raider. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the runs. Thanks for watching, Silver Raider. $250 from Ace Trainer Miles. Longtime watcher, first-time donator from Colorado saying hi. Been watching GDQ speedruns for a while now and finally now have enough money saved to donate for a good cause. Putting this to seeing the TaskBot break Super Scribblenauts. Super Scribblenauts has been moving ahead steadily. It's now at 65,215 of 100,000, so a bit under 35K to go on that. If you want to see some Super Scribblenauts, and you definitely want to see it as a task, you know what you gotta do, friends. You know what you have to do. $50 from Juntex, who says, hi, everyone. Hi, Juntex, how you doing? $50 from Stinger Skull, who says, almost 1 million. Let's kick cancer's butt. Nice GDQ as always. $50 from Forcelund. Apparently I can't donate towards saving the animals. In that case, more TaskBot. Keep on keeping on. $5 from Scotty JJ. Greets to GDQ. Good luck to all runners and have fun. Much love from Australia. All right, friends. Well, I'm going to be signing off here in a moment, handing you off to very, very capable hands. But before that, we're going to throw it on over to an interview where we're going to hear some more words from Zem.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is JHobz. You just saw me, and it is very early in the morning. You could tell because I'm wearing pajamas. We've got Zem here once again. Hey, Zem.
It's good to be here.
Great run, by the
you.
way. I mean, not a 52, but yeah, it is still pretty good.
Only one has been, so I'm okay with it.
But I did want to talk to you a little bit about, you mentioned very early on that you were a backup runner initially and actually got put in pretty late in the schedule. There were some drops because it happens live. Everybody, like there are people who can't show up and they end up dropping, and that's what backup runners are for. What was it like preparing for the run on such short notice? Like I know you still are pretty much always derusted in the game, but for this run specifically, 90% especially being brutal.
I was grinding New Game Plus. So my New Game Plus PB right now is 29:12, and I've been trying to get sub 29. That was my goal before 2019. So I was grinding that all through November, all through December. I've been grinding for a while now that I think about it. But thankfully, I was already derusted in Ouya, so it wasn't a problem. And when you sent me the DM for Uyama wants Ouya, I was just like, oh my, like I was so elated. And I don't really like any percent that much, to be honest. It's a very brutal category, and it's not always 100% rewarding to play. But in life, sometimes you have to do the things that you need to do, right? You got to make choices and you got to follow through with them. And I made the commitment. I was never going to say no to this.
Right.
So I immediately dropped New Game Plus. I started grinding any percent literally right there.
I think literally that night. I messaged you at like 10 or 11 p.m. at night, and I'm pretty sure that you went live like an hour later.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just really cool. I mean, especially because that category needed to be touched up anyway. A lot of the PBs, or a lot of the world records in that game are a little bit outdated because they were accomplished back when PS2 was the fastest system. And so I was pretty happy being able to optimize it anyway. I just didn't expect to be able to optimize it as much as I did. It was just a very wild ride. I mean, I was like bashing my head against the wall for like a week straight, and then I literally back-to-back runs, I got like a minute PB. So sometimes it just clicks. You know, sometimes you have a good day as a speedrunner, and then it all just comes together.
That's true, and like you said, grinding New Game Plus, I imagine at least you were, very derusted in the game. A lot of the movement tech is the same. Not all of it, but a lot of it is very similar and stuff. I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, and really the hardest part going between categories is the infinite jumps. But I've been doing infinite jumps for more than 3 years now, so it does not take me too long to derust on them, thankfully.
I actually just remember because like back in 2014 or 2015 or something, when infinite jumps weren't part of the 90% route, they were a known thing, but they were just too difficult, right?
Yeah.
And nothing about them got easier or changed.
We just got better. We adapted.
Yeah. Or just, stopped sucking more than actually got better, right? Stop complaining. Well, as you know, you are a big fan of the memes, and thus everybody that knows you is a big fan of the memes. So let's get straight into social media questions because there's a bunch of them. So the first one is from @IanIce92, who asks, how many times did you actually plan to die?
So we were calculating this in the practice room. I think there were supposed to be like 9 or 10 intentional deaths. Because of all the death abusing and things like that.
I think it was more like 13 even, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was something like that. Who even cares? But yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. Like we were joking about like me going bankrupt on the couch, but like I'm more than happy to give that money back to charity. Like if ever I had to give it to somebody, why not give it to GDQ? So I'm
to the Prevent Cancer Foundation,
And, yeah, to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Sorry about that.
Yeah, your donations go straight to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. All the conspiracy
theorists out there like, But yeah, so I lost track, obviously. I'm going to have to calculate how many times I did. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows.
Probably somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah, so I'm cool with it. I mean, like, if anything, it get those tax, it's good for taxes. Right?
There you
get
go,
the tax
the
breaks.
tax write-off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we knew no matter what it was going to be way more deaths than planned. So, like you said, any percent brutal category. All right, well, let's get into our next one. We got from @MySuburb. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but Zem, will you ever run Ouya on an Ouya if someone ports that over?
If it's faster, I mean, that's, the amount of stuff that speedrunners put themselves through just to save minuscule amounts of time is quite absurd. So
I like how the meme factor didn't even play in. You were literally just no, I'm not going to do it for the meme even once. No, if it's fast.
If it's faster, I'll do it. Like, there's some games that I wouldn't do that just for sheer enjoyment. I mean, I don't think the Ouya has a very good controller or anything like that. But for Up Your Arsenal, I would make the exception.
Yeah, and I'll just ask another question on that. I mean, you've been with the game with Up Your Arsenals for since 2011 or something, or 2012?
Yeah, so I had a brief period of activity from, I think it was late 2012 to early 2013. I was in college at the time, so I didn't really take it very seriously. And so I kind of got bodied really quickly by Insomniac Nintendo, who's another really legendary, I think I mentioned him before, but super legendary Up Your Arsenal runner. And so I kind of just backed off for a while and just held the L. But then in 2014, I came back and I didn't have anything else to do because I just graduated. So now I'm doing that. And now I'm back in grad school, so I just find time to speedrun when I can.
And what is it about Ouya that just keeps you wanting to come back?
It's incredible. I mean, it's just, I hate being that guy who tries to hype up his own speed game because you sound like you're just really annoying or something. Like you sound like the tinfoil hat dude. But the movement is so slick.
Yeah.
And it runs like a dream, honestly. When you're playing well and when you're nailing all the tricks, I've never felt a bigger rush as a speedrunner, no matter what game I've played.
And honestly, I asked that question so that you would say exactly that, because I could corroborate that it's just one of those games where everything clicks, right? When everything goes well, it's just one fluid motion through the entire level.
Yeah, it's so absurdly difficult, but once it comes together.
Well, let's ask another social media question here. We got from @NormalAccountHaver, I guess. They asked, what is your singing background? Because they were just seeing you sing for the first time today.
So I am a trained professional opera singer, like all the words. I've basically, growing up, I did a lot of singing, just in choirs and things like that. And my friends always joked, or I had one friend, shout outs to Alex if you're out there watching, but he made a joke that the first 17 years of my life, all I did was just sit in my room playing video games, and then my mom said, "You have to go to college," and I was like, I guess I'll do music. But yeah, I started taking classical music seriously when I got to undergrad, and that's what I got my degree in. So I've been singing. I'm 26 now. I've been singing since I was 18. After I graduated, I did some stuff around Pittsburgh for a while because there's a really nice cultural district there. They do a lot of really good music making. And now I'm out in Illinois for graduate school doing a 2-year program. And once I'm done with that, I'm moving into the real professional stage. So
that's awesome, man. And for anyone who hasn't caught it before, pretty much every GDQ run you've been a part of in the past has had some form of you singing, as well as runs that like Kingdom Hearts that you haven't been a part of.
Yeah, a lot of people might remember the Kingdom Hearts stuff more than anything else.
So if you want to see more examples of it, just go tune into some old GDQ VODs.
Yeah.
Well, let's go into from Benkos. They ask, what is your favorite or most satisfying movement to hit from all the Ratchet & Clank games? And why don't we limit it to Ouya, because there's 90 in Ouya alone at least, and then multiply that across all the games.
I would say the most satisfying thing to hit, at least from a late game perspective, from an NG Plus perspective, I'm sorry, would be the Metropolis the backtrack strat, because it's kind of like a skill check.
Right.
If you're playing really well, you'll hit it. And if not, you'll lose the run. So it's kind of like you just have to gamble on yourself. You just have to trust yourself. And if you go, it's just such a confidence booster.
And is that the same in New Game Plus
yes,
as
it is. It's exactly the same. Except there's not as much risk of dying.
Right. Because, you're not going to get shot in the back and die in one hit. Not bad. I like this one we're going to take from @Amaryllis Masaki, who has been sending in a lot of social media questions. Thank you. They ask, what do you like to do on a warm night, Sam? Go to bed and not have to stay up all night to play this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been, I don't know, it's been kind of nice. Being at graduate school, I get to enjoy a lot more social activity. As a streamer, sometimes you kind of get holed up in your room and you don't really do a whole lot. But I don't know, I just like going out with my friends and just kind of chilling and doing the normie stuff, as you might say. I don't know, it's just very refreshing. It's refreshing to get away from speed games sometimes.
All right, man. Well, last question for you is very easy. Where are we going for breakfast? Because I am so hungry.
Dude, I could really use an egg McMuffin.
Okay, let's do it. Thanks, Zem, as always, for both having me on your couch and for coming and chatting with me for a little bit afterwards.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm going to throw it back up to the host because we have C. Scotty W. is just about ready to be running some Metroid Fusion for you.
All right. Thank you so much for that awesome interview. While we're still getting set up for that, I'm actually going to run a quick Twitch ad, so stay tuned with us. We will be right back, everyone. All right. It's not working. All right, welcome back, everyone, to AGDQ 2019. This is the Boix carrying over for the next hour while we're doing our Metroid Fusion run. I have a couple donations I want to read here as we're still getting set up for that. We have a $250 donation from Kurojo, who says, I've never donated and never watched Up Your Arsenal, but Zem singing was so amazing and unexpected it prompted me to donate. Thank you so much for that $250. We also had a $25 anonymous donation who says, a man, amazing singing dude, and a nice run. Much love to AGDQ. We also had a $50 donation from